If everyone has an excuse for why they're fat.
That it's really sad.
Okay. I'm just going to say it, the elephant in the room. Every fat person would want to be in shape. The problem is that they're not willing to do what's required to get in shape, hence why they are fat.
You're
And this is how fat people think. That's your fault. See, the problem is that you're a professional victim. I don't know if you've caught on to this, but you're a professional victim. You constantly blame others for your inadequacies and why you're fat. You can say whatever you want to say.
All right, gang, man. We back with another video. Man. Hey, this is a touchy topic right here, man. Cause y'all know we don't discriminate in no type of ways, but bro, this one right here caught my eye. So today we finna be looking at is being fat a choice? Fit men versus fat men. Hey, what y'all think? Is being fat a choice? Like is it really preventable? Hey, some might say yes, some might say no. Now let's go ahead and get into this video, gang.
Do you think just being in a fat body and being in the public space encourages obesity?
Yes.
Shame is what led me to an eating disorder.
When
what we're looking for is stability.
That's your fault.
It's
See, the problem is that you're a professional victim.
Would you agree, like, looking at his physique, like, he's at a perfectly, I would say, maybe healthy?
No.
You think?
He's definitely overweight, definitely obese.
Big guy.
Our first prompt is, I have felt disgusted looking at a fat body. Can our agreeers please step forward?
That boy, Myron.
Whoever feels compelled to start us off.
Well, it's unacceptable to be fat.
Okay. That's a great start. I mean, I know why you say that, but it's one of those things where, do you know why you're saying that?
Yes, because I've been fat before and I lost the weight.
Well, me too. I've been fat my whole life. I've been way skinnier than I am now, and I've been way heavier than I am now. Was I less valuable at one point in there?
Well, I mean, you can make an argument that you're less valuable when you're fatter because you drain resources, but that's a whole other conversation. But yeah, I mean, in general, being fat is unacceptable because you control every single morsel of food that goes into your mouth.
Okay.
It shows a lack of discipline, it shows a lack of character, it shows a lack of temperance, and when you're fat, it's an outward manifestation of your inadequacies.
When I see somebody who's 500 or 600 pounds, all I can think of is, why do they care so little about their health that they can do this, allow themselves to gain that much weight, knowing it's taken 20, 30, 40 years off their life? I just can't imagine not wanting to live that badly.
I understand that. No, it's I've definitely felt disgusted looking at my own body and looking at other fat bodies in my life. A lot of the disgust I felt looking at people was me feeling disgusted with myself and then projecting that feeling onto other people. And I don't think anyone on either side will disagree that health is important. I know that my own mental health was way worse when I was spending every fixate of my life trying to get smaller and trying to be thinner.
I don't think there's anyone that can look at somebody 500, 600, 700 pounds and not think, wow, what have they done? And not be disgusted. Like, how can you not? I just can't understand.
You can't assume that everyone has the same opinion, though, because unfortunately, some people have emotional stuff that happened, traumatic stuff that's happened, so you can't discount and just say, because they're fat.
Boo-hoo, man. Like, there's way worse stuff going out in the world versus people saying, oh my God, I'm sad, I'm gonna eat some ice cream. It's like, no, dude, it's like, you're fat, you made that decision, you live in the best country ever. If you live in a civilized first world country where you have electricity, internet power, etc., you deserve to be bullied. It's ridiculous to me that we have all these fat people running around, meanwhile people are being bombed in Gaza. It's ridiculous. We are so privileged here in the United States and in the West in general. When I see a fat person, I'm like, wow, you got the gift of life, you got the gift of being in a developed country, and you're a fat POS talking about body positivity on TikTok? What the hell is going on here?
But now you're segmenting, though, because not everyone thinks like that.
No, we need to bring shaming back.
Okay.
We need to bring shaming back in so many other regards besides obesity. We need to do it with sluts. We need to shame fat people. We need to shame everybody when they fuck up. Because shame has been one of the strongest defenses against degeneracy and human fuck-ups.
You had a personal experience you wanted to share. You said you used to be overweight. Now you're not.
Oh yeah, so I did an experiment back in like 2015 where I like bulked for like almost 2 years, and I got up to like 250 pounds, and then I dieted down. It took me about 7 months. I systematically did it, control my calories, tracked my macros, tracked my protein, carbs, fats, and systematically lost 1 to 2 pounds per week.
So you chose to gain up to 250.
Yeah,
you were
so I've been in all spectrums. Like, I'm naturally skinny.
Yeah.
And then I was like, all right, I'm gonna get fat as an experiment.
So you're telling me this man said, all right, I'm gonna get fat. and decided to take it upon himself to gain 250 to 300 pounds? What?
It was like, I'm naturally skinny.
Yeah.
And then I was like, all right, I'm going to get fat as an experiment.
Yeah.
Did it. And then I was like, all right, now I'm going to lose the weight. And then all I did was just track my calories, like the same food every single day.
Yeah.
Went to the gym 4 or 5 times a week, and everything was controlled and it got done. Was it monotonous? Of course. Was it boring?
I agree with you there. I am naturally this way. This is with working out 4 or 5 times a week.
That's not true.
This is 100% true, bro.
Nah, bro.
No,
Come to the gym with me.
It's not natural at all, because at the end of the day, if you don't lose weight, by definition, you're not in a calorie deficit. If you're not in a calorie deficit, then you're gonna either maintain or gain weight, and that's the problem, is that people don't track their calories.
And that's true, but people burn at their resting metabolic rate a different set of calories.
Doesn't matter.
Let's not get too granular right now. It's going to be one of those episodes, right? Let's bring in the disagreeers and hear from them.
Okay, so the reason I disagreed, especially when I heard the statement, I don't think I'll ever look at somebody based on their situation and think that I'm disgusted. Like, if I see somebody that's a drug addict on the street that's homeless, I'm not disgusted by that. If I see somebody that's incredibly overweight, I'm not disgusted by that. Do I think that there's an opportunity for growth? Do I think they've been put in a disadvantageous position that's probably makes it harder for them? Absolutely. I think I'm kind of an empath, so when I see somebody, I know that there's things underlying, and one of my best friends is 400 plus pounds. I've helped him lose 150, 200 pounds. He's gained it back. And I don't look at him and say, I'm disgusted, but I know how bad he wants it. And just seeing how hard he tries and then reverts, it's almost more tough for me than to be like, oh, that's disgusting, you know? And I think there's plenty of people that look at me and say, that's disgusting. I never want to look like that. So like, I know what it feels like on the other side to like look the way I do and get people look at me like, ugh, that's gross to like have that muscle. And to go back to that point, like you came from a fit place and like deciding to bulk, like that's a conscientious decision to gain weight. Like you already have those habit routines and skills in order to stay in shape, and then you use those same skills you had to pull back on the calories and knowledge you had.
The reason why I use that example is that you can get fat and lose the weight if you know what you're doing and you have the knowledge and everything else like that. It's just about consistency over time. So it's like, I look at it like...
let me cut you off, because here's one thing that you just said.
Yeah.
You had the tools. So there's people that don't have the tools that you've passed judgment on, and you have failed to realize that with the tools, people are very much capable of achieving amazing things. But
okay, let's talk about set
no,
tools.
hold on, I'm not done.
Why you cut me off?
I'm
before,
not done.
remember?
And I stood over there and I listened to you, and I was like, it's a ton of bullshit too.
Sure.
But we're gonna address this, right?
Yeah.
You are passing judgment on people who lack the tools to do what it is that they need to do to get themselves to a certain point of health. There are multitudes of factors that weighs into what goes on with somebody's body. There are people that even if they work out, losing the weight does not come as simple as just going to the gym, cutting calories, watching everything that you eat. There are some people that have a disposition. I have a disposition. But does that mean that I'm not active? Does that mean that I'm not doing certain things? No, it doesn't. But you're passing judgment on somebody's body that you know nothing about. Now, on the flip side, what if I turned around and I did the same thing to you? You're talking about how fit and stuff that you are, but you're over there and you're smallest compared to these other guys. So how does that feel if someone comes? No, because you said shame, right?
That's a little,
You said shame, right?
Yeah.
So how does that feel if someone comes up and they start shaming you for size? Like, come on, it goes both ways.
We're just in the first round.
Bro, I like how somebody actually like not to say stood up to Myron, but basically just told him like it is. Like, nigga, you talking about how fat I am, and you say you work out on a daily, on a weekly basis. You're not nearly as big as the other men you're sitting next to, like compared to them in size. But at the same time, bro, a lot of people don't work out to get that mass look. You know that bodybuilder look. See, in my opinion, I really don't care for that look. It's not. I don't want to look too muscle on muscle, but hey, some people work towards that. But if you comfortable, if you can work out and you got that nice tone, hey, I'm fine with that.
We got to be careful about targeting each other too directly. You
No, I mean,
definitely-
I'm not offended. It's fine. He's
No,
emotional.
it goes
and that's
in
fine.
every direction.
He's obviously very triggered.
Oh,
but
I'm
yeah,
not
so let's talk
triggered.
about, let's hit the first part, tools. What are the tools? The tools are simply knowledge, which you can get for free on the internet. If you have the ability and the discipline to go out there and get the knowledge, then you're going to lose weight. It's just that simple. It's just that people want to always make excuses for why, oh, my feelings, oh, I don't know what, you don't know what people are going through, blah, blah, blah. No, you can watch your calories, you can go to the gym, you have time to do it. People just like to make excuses.
I don't think anyone's debating that weight loss is impossible here. I think the question is, why do you hate fat people, that you feel the disgust towards it?
Well, like I said before, it's a culmination of a bunch of bad decisions. I'm not going to go ahead and give the same level of respect to someone who's a fat ass to someone that has worked really hard and diligently on their physique, because your body's outward manifestations
There's
of
more
your decisions,
factors to
your
a human
consistency.
being than their body.
Well,
I'm not gonna lie, bro. When he said that, it kind of makes sense. Like, people who just let themselves go, bro. Those are, them are really people who just made a ton of like bad decisions. Because you had the option, you had the choice to not go and get that 15, 20 piece wing over going to get a salad with a little bit of light ranch. Man, you had the option. You could have went to the gym, but instead you decided, oh, I'm gonna go home and watch about 3-4 movies. I'm gonna go buy a foot long, I'm gonna go buy a Publix sub, and I'm gonna get some ice cream, bro. I got a meal. You still eating. Hey man, like I said, we don't judge if that's what you want to do. If you're comfortable in your skin, we allow it over here, man. We ain't gonna sit up here and bash nobody, bro. We don't do that over here. Everybody welcome, family. Hey, but look, that's a crazy way to look at it though.
well, you could judge a lot just off of someone's physique. You'd be like, okay, well, this guy is lazy. And that's personified through their physique. It's the truth.
Abe, I saw you wanted to say
I
something.
mean, just to take it back to the prompt, I think we just kind of went all over the place there.
We're still focusing on the word disgust.
Just the word disgust. I mean, I would never look at someone and show disgust towards them. I mean, I think I would respect, like you said. I mean, you don't respect everyone, like you said, but I think
Respect is earned.
I mean, it is earned, but I mean, I think at a humane level, we can learn to appreciate each other's differences.
Yeah, I don't know if like disgust would be the right word, right?
I know.
Greg mentioned some health implications with being overweight or obese.
Yeah.
I think being concerned might be a better.
That's the word I was going
a
to go
better
for.
word.
Like
but
I can show concern for someone for the way that they are, but I would never look at someone and say like, you're disgusting.
But is it any
Like-
different than if you see somebody who's extremely anorexic, they're 50 pounds, you look at them and you're in shock? Oh my God, like something happens in your body you can't control. You can't stop that.
There
Like
could
how
be a-
can
there
you
could be a
not?
shock
It's not, I
factor,
don't
but
hate
that's-
them.
that's different
It's just,
from-
wow, oh my God, it's like, it's disgusting. Like, holy goodness
But
gracious.
why
That's a
would
shock
you
factor,
use
though.
the
That's
word
not- that's
disgusting,
not
right?
disgusting.
So you just mentioned the polar opposite of what we are, right? But why would you look at them and be disgusted versus concerned? That is a very specific word, and it has very specific connotations behind it. And when it's used, it's somewhat weaponized as well.
I don't think we can help how we feel. I don't think I can choose like, oh, I just am not. It would be sitting here and lying. I'm not going to sit here and lie. I'm always going to be honest with people. I'm disgusted. This is just how I feel.
The thing is, when you see a fat person, the reason why it's disgusting and the reason why there's so much pushback on this whole body positivity, and people make fun of Lizzo, rightfully so, by the way, is because it's unattractive, it's unhealthy, until we have this woke era.
Bro, I'm sorry, but he used Lizzo. That's a perfect example. Lizzo is somebody who has been big for a long time now, bro. Since we was playing, 2K17, Lizzo has been big, and they have been like allowing that for so long. And I always looked at it as, bro, if this is a big woman and they're saying, okay, body positivity, why are y'all talking shit about her because she's big? Bro, but if these same females were to see a nigga that fat, a nigga that's about 300-400 pounds, she gonna say, ew, you can't talk to me, get in the gym. Why is he even breathing my direction, bro? I've seen a lot of hateful shit come from men that are fat. Well, females talking about men that are fat. That shit be crazy, because half the time the niggas be comfortable. They don't even care. But females they gonna judge based off what they see. Ew, he big as hell. But it's okay for Lizzo to be big and say, oh, I love my body. But if that same big nigga got on Instagram and posted a picture, man, hey, I'm living good today, bro. You know how many times that shit gonna get shared around saying he's fat. What is he doing with his life? I'm telling you, male and female is two different worlds when it comes to body positivity and fat shaming. From a male to female perspective, it's seen two different ways. They expect men to just take it on the chin. Oh, you made those decisions. But the female, they want to encourage it. She looks beautiful.
until we had this woke era, they used to put like models and attractive people on the cover of magazines that were in shape. Why? So that people can aspire to look like that. And it's healthy and it looks better in general. You look good, feel good. But when you're fat, it says a lot about you. People aren't gonna sit there and be like, let me see if he's a good person. No, they're just gonna assume that you're lazy, which you are, by the way, when you're fat, and you don't have discipline, which you are, by the way. So they're just gonna assume off of what they see. But that's the world that we live in.
I love how you stated a ton of assumptions. You didn't state not one fact. You just stated assumptions.
I want to move on to the next prompt. We're definitely.
Can I say one thing? Just one question.
Yeah.
Like, let's say you knew he used to be 600 pounds, and how much do you weigh now?
I'm 384.
And now he's 384. Do you see him as less disgusting knowing he's lost 220 pounds?
No, that's fantastic.
I think yes.
There's still work to be done. But here's the thing, like I said before, unfortunately, human beings judge a book by its cover. It's just the world that we live in. Fat people that identify as 97 genders, whatever, they expect us to change our worldview for them, and that's just not how the world works. Like it's been that way. It's always going to be that way.
Worldview. That's
All right,
I think what I don't get.
It's just the world that we're in. Like people are gonna,
Yeah, it's different. Yeah, my bad.
Now let's reset. Jacked men are more attractive than fat men. Will the agreeers please step forward?
How come there's 4 guys over there? All right, we're living in a bizarro world where people don't see the truth. Like, how is it possible that they're thinking, no, being obese and unhealthy is more attractive than being fit and healthy? How is this possible?
When you're fat is when you're in shape. She's just not. See, people don't understand that women are aroused by one thing and they're attracted by another thing. Women are attracted to, a guy that's confident, ambitious, makes money, etc. Of course, right? But they're aroused by guys that have asshole tendencies, dark triad traits, etc., and guys that are physically in shape. So if you want to get the best of your woman, where she respects and admires you, while simultaneously being aroused by you, so she doesn't cheat on you, you need to have it all.
You're saying.
Hey, look, he say that. But you would be surprised at the amount of girls who don't really care about physical attraction.
That's true for all women?
A staggering majority of women.
There might be 1% of the world that there's something wrong with them that might think that, yeah, you're 600 pounds, it's so hot, I love that, but...
Yeah. The hot girls that you actually want, they exercise their hypergamy to the highest degree, and they want guys that are fit and have their money together, have their life together.
You're looking at me like you want to say something.
Yeah, because the question was, are jacked men more attractive? We all walked over. Are we more attracted to jacked men?
Well, I'm assuming they framed that because we're all guys here they mean women.
Well, men can be attracted to men.
If I had to switch teams, I'm going with the jack guy.
Obviously, this is going to be like personal biases, but admit, like, there was probably 40 pounds of muscle ago is when most women would be like attracted to me. Of course, like fitness girls, they're totally okay with the size I am, but like probably most girls I'm like too much for. So I guess, like, where do we draw that line of, like, I think, for example, like you would be much more attractive to most women than me. Would you agree with that?
I mean, that doesn't mean that, like, if you walked up to a girl and let's say you're not her, like you're a little bit more muscular than she would, like if you have the charm and charisma, she gonna still go with you, man. It don't matter.
I have an interesting point.
Yeah.
And no shade on you, but I think if you had Zach, right, you're on the end?
Yep.
If you put Zach and Greg and you put them next to each other and you did a poll, I think that most women would probably pick him if you had to, like, because he's got the height and all that. What would you guys say to that?
No.
No? Well, we can put it to the test.
But that's not really fair. I'm 48 years old. He's a lot younger than me. He's about a foot taller than me, but you can't compare. I'm an old man. I'm 48 years old.
Obviously, height is a big component. So so it's not you're comparing apples to oranges. But if you take the same guy, same height, etc., but one guy is fat, one guy's in good shape, she's always going to go with the guy that's in better shape.
Because I've been so surprised to see on Instagram, there'll be like guys doing like an outfit try on, like not in shape in the slightest bit, and all the comments are women like, I wish like men knew this is how we wish they looked, and like, oh, this is like the dream.
For social media.
Liars for
to look good.
One thing
for
about
clout.
you can never believe what women say, man. You believe how they behave, not what they say.
That's a different episode.
Attraction is so subjective. I am a big and tall model by trade. That's what I do. I model clothing brands. I've modeled with major fashion houses. I've been on the covers of magazines. You mentioned before dad bod comments and whatnot on social media. I was flabbergasted when I started how many people were commenting and DMing me and talking about how attractive I was. That it just kind of, I don't know, showed me that attraction is a lot more subjective than I thought, and people have a much wider range of what they find attractive than specifically a body type.
Is being jacked the most important trait for being attractive? I'd argue for guys, it'd probably be otherwise, right? I think height would be a very
money, height, fame. Like what can you bring to the table?
The number one thing is status. By far, status.
People also go after what they think they can get. So if this guy is 6'5" and extremely attractive, and it's like, well, I can't get that guy. I'm attracted to the 10 on 10 supermodel, but I'm not going to get her, so I'll be happy with the 9.9 on 10.
Just to be clear, are we speaking about women being attracted to men?
It's not just about women. It's just about attraction. What is the most attractive, in your opinion, physique for a man?
Okay, I'm speaking from like what women find attractive. So when I speak, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I'm sexually fluid. So my law of attraction does not adhere to anyone's standards, pretty much. I'm attracted to people in general. So you could be jacked, you could be more plus size, you could be skinny, you could be whatever it is that you are. If I'm attracted to you, I'm attracted to you.
What are the traits you find most attractive?
I think the way that you carry yourself is a really big thing for me. I can't date someone who lacks confidence, because I feel like that seeps into other aspects of your life.
Do you mind if I jump in on the confidence thing?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So growing up, wasn't too confident in myself, and I gained that confidence when I started losing weight. And I noticed it was me putting myself in positions to get more opportunities with women. Right now, I'm single right now, but I'm doing okay. But the confidence came from me losing weight. So I do agree that it's a subjective kind of standpoint, but socially, I understand that physically fit men, that's just like what everyone's liking. It's like
I don't think it's as subjective as guys are trying to say. Attraction isn't a choice, and there are hardwired traits that women look for in men. And what I've come to realize is that what women put out there as what they find attractive are politically correct things. Oh, he has a dad bod. He's nice. He's a good guy. The reality is that women don't respond well and favorably to these men. There's a reason why nice guys finish last is a thing. It's because when you're too nice and you kind of bend to her will, etc., girls aren't aroused by that. Girls don't want to say what they're really aroused by. Guys that are able to stand up to them. Guys that are able to tell them, well, that was a stupid comment, or hold them accountable for their stupidity when they do dumb things. This is what women find attractive because these are leadership traits.
Have any of those things happened to you, though?
Well, I mean, I've talked to almost 3,000 women, and what I've come to realize from talking to all of them is that most of the time, you know, when they're in a comment section of TikTok, like, you're so handsome, blah, 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 will they actually go on a date and have sex with that guy? Probably not. But they say that because it's politically correct, and women tend to not want to be adversarial. They're going to say what sounds good, but what they're actually aroused by are two different things.
But they're married to those guys.
Yeah, that was kind of what I was
Most
getting to.
often they're married to
married.
And marriage is a failed institution in the West, and this is why most men get divorced by women. This is why they get destroyed in the divorce courts. This is why women overwhelmingly initiate the divorce rates in America.
He might have some wild, crazy takes, but this is him, bro, raw and uncut.
80% are initiated by women because we sit here and we lie and we believe what women say they're actually attracted to. No, they're not attracted.
Let's go back to attraction for a second, though, because I'm married. Sure. I have a child.
Cool.
I have a beautiful wife. Mm-hmm. I was this size the entire process through it.
Would you say that you're an average guy?
I would say that I'm bigger than average.
Yeah, you're not an average guy.
And a model
you're not an average guy.
for being slightly overweight.
I wasn't a model when I started
But
dating
you are a
my
very
wife.
good-looking, tall,
I was a
big
bartender
guy who's
doing
on
whatever.
magazine covers. So out of the million guys overweight, you're at the
you're
top.
not an average guy.
But I think what you're missing is he just said that he wasn't any of those things.
He's not 5'6", man, like me.
Met his
Try
wife.
being 5'6" and doing it.
No, I totally agree with you. Well, that's what I was gonna actually agree with Myron for a second. Believe it or not, we're talking about. You mentioned status, and then a lot of people other mentioned confidence. So you even put in your own pecking order ahead of being jacked or being physically attractive. Sure. Wouldn't you say that matters more? I disagreed with the statement because it was a blanket statement that I have found untrue in my own life.
Do all of you feel like you'd be more or less attractive, let's say 50 pounds lighter than you are, and simply like just body fat?
I think so. Yeah.
Something that I struggled with for a while is, in me losing weight, am I still going to be able to book the jobs that I book? Because I've built an entire brand off of my body. I mean, granted, like, coolish, like, you know, I did something that's all my own. Like, I worked on that. But then I was also just like, if I lose this, are you still gonna want me to, like, do this campaign for you? Are you still gonna want me in your magazine? Are you still gonna want to dress me? And then I had to, like, take a step back and say, like, well, what is it for me? Do I want to be skinny? No. Do I want to look like Greg? No. Do I want to look like Myron? No. But I know I want to look like me. I think talking about the law of attraction, you focus so heavy about what women would find attractive and the perspective of the woman. And I feel like, are you even attracted to yourself? When you look in that mirror, when you put your clothes on, are you like, damn, like I did that? Because when I got up this morning and I threw on my outfit, I was just like, yeah, I ate that.
Well, if you're going to talk about being attractive, etc., typically people are speaking from a romantic sense, from a heterosexual standpoint of men and women. So that's why I answered the question, because it was very broad. That's what I mean. But of course, you need to be able to look at the mirror and respect the man that you see looking back at you. When you look back and you see the guy and you're in shape, etc., and you feel good about yourself, look good, feel good. A byproduct of that is that women just tend to find you more attractive. It all works together in tandem.
Are you happy with the way you look?
Of course, women.
Of course. But I had to work to build this physique, and it took many years. I was an athlete in college, I was a Division I athlete. It took many years to be able to do this. So
What'd you play?
I rowed in college. Crew.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
I like rowing.
So I think when fat people look at the mirror and they say, oh, I like that, that's cope, man. No, you don't. They say that to try to bring themselves up, but the reality is most of the time when you're fat, you look in the mirror, you're like, damn, I really let myself go.
The body positivity movement is problematic. Will the agreeers step forward?
We just talked about this.
Well, I think where it becomes a problem is obviously you should be comfortable in your body, and if you genuinely love how you look, great, but you can't ignore your health. Being someone who is overweight, I've been fortunate enough not to have any extreme complications other than like, knee pain and stuff like that. But I know people that, that are my size or bigger, and they have cholesterol problems, heart problems, diabetes. I have none of that. So the body positivity movement becomes a problem when you hide behind the shield of, oh, I should love my body, Great, but you have to be healthy too. You can't ignore your vitals. You gotta like check yourself on the inside.
Yeah, I think the big thing is you have to separate the health implication with you just being confident, right? Like I'm all for people to feel confident in their own skin. I think body positivity movement has been beneficial for plus size people in that regard, right? Because let's say there's a plus size person who's too embarrassed to go to the gym because they feel like they're gonna be judged, whatever it is. But it's because of body positivity, they're like, oh, hey, like I see other plus size people in the gym, maybe I'm gonna give it a try. And all of a sudden they start going, they're like, oh man, I like this, right? And they keep it going. You can argue that without body positivity, maybe that day would have never happened for that person, right? But I think the problematic part really comes down to people extrapolating body positivity, shaming a celebrity like, let's say Adele, for losing weight, right? That's where I would kind of draw the line there.
Or promoting Lizzo. Making fun of Adele for losing weight, but promoting Lizzo for being a fat. It's unacceptable.
Are a lot of people doing that?
I think the thing around Lizzo is it's not just the weight, it's the lifestyle. You like see her drinking all the time and partying and not sleeping. There's like so little to do with health. It's not just she's promoting like loving yourself, which I think is great. She's promoting a lifestyle that is unhealthy, like being very overweight, drinking, not sleeping. All of these things are not conducive to your health. So I think you conflate that. And sure, being body positive is important, like loving yourself, loving the way you look. But if that's going to influence other people to make bad decisions about their body and their health, that's problematic.
Body positivity is disempowering people. It's making them think that they're healthy at any size, which they're not. And so as soon as you start telling people, hey, just love your body, like Lizzo will literally rub her belly and said, you're giving me all this power as she's eating a burger and she's promoting being obese. By doing this, you're just ruining it for people who actually should think, wait a minute, I can lose weight, I can go to the gym, I can eat less, I can do this.
Personally, my problem with body positivity isn't necessarily what it stands for, and I feel like there's a misconception because there are those people that they use it to justify fatness and just I don't even want to say fatness. I want to make it very clear unhealthiness, because there's someone like me who I wouldn't say I'm necessarily part of the body positive community anymore. Personally, I would say I champion body diversity because it's all encompassing. It's inclusive of what everybody, is doing within their journey.
Because you have all these fat people, I love my body. No, you don't. It's a lie, dude. You're just coping. You're lying to yourself. And all these people on Instagram and TikTok with the body positivity movement are lying to themselves. They're not happy where they want to be. They just accept that because they're too lazy to make a change.
No, but
Bro, oh my gosh. Why is that shit true? And it's like, I don't want to discredit or take nothing away from a big people, from a fat people, but dog, you don't want to just sit up here and try to keep convincing yourself that that's okay, that it's body positivity. It's okay to be in that skin, dog. It's okay to hit the gym every once in a while, man. Take care of yourself, man. Health is wealth. You gotta say it with me, folks. Health is wealth. Hey, man, take care of your body, man. That's your number one thing out here, dog.
I genuinely do love my body.
Right now, as you are?
Yeah.
Change.
No, but I genuinely do love my body.
Right now, as you are?
Yeah.
Then why are you going to the
And
gym?
I'll explain to you.
Then why are you going to the gym?
I will explain it to you. I love everything that my body is capable of doing. I love the fact that at my size, I can do a lot of things that other people smaller than me still cannot do.
But you want to lose weight, though.
And yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is good.
I want to lose weight because I love my body, but I have one body. Why would I not love it?
Yeah.
And because I love my
But you
body
understand
is
that your
why
body now
I'm
needs to be
looking to make
changed.
changes.
Yeah,
Right?
make changes.
But to say that loving your body is BS, no, you make changes, you make healthy changes to yourself because you love yourself. All of that time that I'm putting in, the work, the money that I'm spending, that's a labor of love because I love myself enough to know that I want to make some changes to live a better lifestyle in the sense of I can just do a little bit more.
So it's not a single problem.
Oh no, I'm not saying there's not a single problem. To me, body positivity is more about bodily autonomy. Like you were mentioning wanting to lose weight. My whole thing is like, yeah, it's your body, do whatever you want with it. I don't think I as a human being have a right to tell any of you what to do with your bodies. Body positivity kind of comes in and go, okay, you as a human being have inherent value. Just in the fact that you are a conscious soul on this planet, you have an inherent value. You are within a vessel of your body that you do have control over, but at the same time, you're not less valuable to society or from the standpoint of the soul for what your body looks like.
I like that.
When I'm speaking about body positivity, I'm talking about the over acceptance and encouragement of being obese.
So I personally, again, I'm not super online, have not seen anybody pro-obesity ever.
Lizzo.
Oh, there's a bunch, dude.
She loves herself.
I don't think
Avocado,
that it's
avocado.
pro-obesity.
No. There's a
They
big
are
difference.
actively promoting obesity.
She's not telling anyone to get fat.
She's showing you exactly how to do it and saying, look at my body as I love and
saying
rub it and it's
she's
giving me
happy.
life. And she's like joking around. And
And
that's
also,
the
I
whole
want to
thing.
clarify. See, here's the thing. There's a bunch of fat influencers that push this body positivity situation, and a bunch of them are dead now. No one talks about that. That didn't hit mainstream news.
So I'm in that space.
Yeah.
Which influencers are you talking about? Because
I don't recall their names, but there's a couple of them that passed away. They're YouTubers. They used to do these mukbangs where they'd eat a bunch of food on camera.
Mukbang
That's
is a
totally
total- okay,
different.
okay, but that's a
They're not
mukbang
a
is
part of our
different-
that's kinda
community.
different.
That's
Yeah.
a completely different thing. We're not saying we're gonna go to a restaurant and pig out just because it's entertaining or anything like that. There are people that they're called gainers, that their whole lifestyle, their fetish and things like that revolves around gaining weight.
Yeah, and I understand that you're saying that that's not a component to the
it's
body
not-
positivity movement, but
it's
you
not
got to
a part
understand
of
for
it.
the general masses, they're watching that, they're going to attribute it to that. They're not in the niche, they're not a creator, so they're not looking at it like, no, this person's just a gluttonous person. No,
boy
they look
Tevin
at
fighting
everyone
his
who's
life.
obese that's making content about being obese and continuing that lifestyle as a part of the body
But they're
positivity
not
movement.
making content about being obese. They're making content about overeating,
Yes, and they
which is
also
also
encourage
an
that.
eating disorder.
Yeah, and they also encourage being fat as well.
Do you think just being in a fat body and being in the public space encourages obesity, just flat out?
Yes.
So just
agree.
us existing, we're saying,
Yes.
yay, everyone go gain weight?
It absolutely impacts other people to think, well, think of it. You're 6'6",
never
good looking,
looked
you're
at- I know,
modeling.
but I've
it's going to
never
encourage
looked at
other
it.
people to, well, hey, look at him. He's got
So
lots
then
of...
what about when I
I've
go
never
to the
looked
gym?
at
When I step into the gym, or when Zach steps into the gym, or when any of us step into the gym, are we promoting being bigger like that too? Are we going there and is our presence there unwanted?
By being famous, rich, popular, and being obese, you're indirectly promoting it in the same way that people who take steroids and are 350 pounds of muscle and winning the Mr. Olympia are indirectly promoting it even if they don't say they're taking it.
But I'm speaking more specifically in the gym.
I have abused my body. Will the agreeers step forward?
I'll start by saying I've abused my body many times. Being a bodybuilder, professional bodybuilder, I've abused steroids, did that for over 10 years. I don't think you can get to the level that you have to get to be at to be a professional bodybuilder while being natural. And so absolutely, and I would say that somebody trying to abuse steroids to get that muscle, to get that look is just as unhealthy as somebody who's obese. So I don't try to be a hypocrite. I say I've done these poor choices. I'm 48 now, I don't do steroids anymore. And so I recognize that what I did in the past was bad, probably took years off my life. And so I would say to people who are overweight, why don't you do the same thing? And if you're not, then do you really care about your health? Because if you do, you would stop doing the things that are leading to being morbidly obese.
But then to your own argument, you spent 10 years doing something you knew was inherently unhealthy.
Correct.
But then you're going to turn around and tell people that they should just wake up. But
yes, exactly.
It took you 10
like
years
people
to
should have
wake up.
told me, Greg, why do you keep doing this to yourself? You do not recognize what's going to happen. And if we call it shaming, why are you abusing steroids, Greg?
What was the moment, where the perspective shifted?
Well, I got old enough and realized I can't get any better at this. I can keep taking more and more drugs and try to sustain this, but I said, it's not worth it anymore.
There's abuse on both spectrums, right? Like you can be a fat ass on one end and say, I'm going to just continue to eat cheeseburgers and put on TikTok. And then there's the other side where you can, use performance enhancing drugs and say, I'm going to step on stage. But I would make the argument that the person that is training, using PEDs, etc., I'd respect that individual more than the fat ass. And the reason why is because though it isn't healthy to be on performance enhancing drugs, you're still pushing your body to a level that most can't, versus by just being fat, that doesn't take any skill or dedication. So
what if a fat person is doing something like, maybe they're into quantum physics, maybe they're changing the way we view the world entirely? Are they not valuable because they're not shredded?
Well, again, we're talking about the purpose of abusing your body.
Yeah.
I'd have more respect for the bodybuilders. My point is the thing. I think every man growing up has been shamed to some degree, where they're like, you know what, I need to improve this. Whether they grew up skinny.
You though.
Right.
Well, yeah. I mean, I was skinny, right, and then I got picked on, and I was like, okay, I'm either gonna let this define me or I'm gonna overcome. And I was like, all right, I'm going to go to the gym and start training.
But does it work in any other interpersonal relationship? Like, have your parents ever shamed you, come down on you, made you feel like shit?
Absolutely.
But did you deserve all of it, 100% of it?
Absolutely, they shame me, and I think that's fantastic. And I think that's a part of your parents' job, is to shame you for your fuck-ups.
What about people in abusive relationships or with abusive parents who are now in no contact situations or anything like that? Not me. I love my folks. They're great.
Yeah.
But like, just for the TV record, in case they watch it. Like, but I know a lot of people who
There's
are
always
on
a
like
line.
no
There's
contact.
always a line. But
So that's all I'm saying is in the fitness world, I would rather be with someone who's trying to uplift me, trying to get me to improve, hold me accountable. Tough love, absolutely, I think is important.
Yeah.
There's a total difference between tough love and shame.
Absolutely.
shame is a component of tough love.
Shame is only done with the intent to hurt somebody, not to uplift them.
I would not like to be on the other side. If that's true for you, come forward.
I'm very medium on this.
When I was in high school, they do your graduation photos, and they had a saying, and my saying was, my worst nightmare would be if I gained 10 pounds of fat. Literally, grade 12, I remember it clear as day. I was already a competitive bodybuilder, and so to imagine being 100 or 200 pounds overweight when I strived my whole life to look kind of like this, I just couldn't imagine it. It would be a nightmare for me.
I agree. From like a health perspective, like being overweight or obese like puts you at a higher risk of developing chronic illnesses, and I think I wouldn't want to be in that position. And if I was in that position, I would do what I can in order to get to a healthier weight.
So I just want to make sure everyone gets to say their piece before I go. I mean, yeah, it's completely unacceptable to be fat as a man. It's completely unacceptable. It's just so many problems with it. I've been fat, I've been skinny, and I've been in shape, and I will pick being in shape every single time. Just like if you ask someone that's rich versus someone that's poor, they will pick being rich every single time. And the thing is that most fat people, not all, but most, have never even seen their abs. They've never seen what their body is capable of. They've never been actually happy with their physique. And once you get that taste, you're never going to want to go back. And then on top of that, you're going to want to go ahead and tell all those fat asses that you were once friends with, you need to get in shape. This is awesome.
My man's right here is trying so hard, bro. He fighting for his life. Trying to tell you why he is comfortable in his skin, why he doesn't care what people think, and he's confident. I love it, man. But like it's like he just sick of it.
But the reality is we live in this crazy world where we coddle fat people, we coddle idiots, we coddle morons, and we don't hold anybody accountable, and we allow mediocrity to strive in the West. And I think we need to go back to shaming fat people. We need to go back to making fun of them. I mean, if I was president, hell, I'd put all of them in a fat concentration camp so they can concentrate on dieting and exercising, because being fat is completely not acceptable. I'd have these people back in shape, because what people don't also understand is that fat people bring a big burden on the healthcare system. Obesity, diabetes, heart disease, etc. It's a big problem.
Do you really mean that, or are you just saying that?
Yeah. I'm dead ass. Yeah. If I was president, make me president, I would get rid of the obesity problem like that. I find it interesting that they can lock us up in their homes for almost 2 years saying wear a mask, etc. But then I say I'm gonna lock these dudes up in a concentration camp where we're gonna get them healthy food, we're gonna get them exercising, and I'm looked at as crazy.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I guess there's a distinction between having opinions about how COVID was handled and genuinely believing that all fat people should be in a concentration camp.
Yes, a concentration camp. Let me be clear. I'm talking about a concentration camp where they're concentrating on diet and exercise.
So I wouldn't necessarily want to go from one extreme to another. I also would not want to be spewing out stuff just to hopefully get a viral clip.
So if you could snap your fingers and look like any of us, would you not do it? Like, would it not be worth it?
I probably choose to look like Tyler. I want to go to a place where it's comfortable and it's healthy all around. I'm not doing things that could negatively impact me in a way to get to a place like that. Like, I've gone through that. I've gone through having eating disorders from chewing gum and drinking water and starving myself in different ways to achieve something. Like when I was dancing, my dance teacher blatantly told me, if you don't lose a certain amount of weight, I'm kicking you out of the showcase. So what did I do? I resorted to everything that I could possibly do to cut pounds like crazy. And it wasn't sustainable. It really screwed with me mentally, but I was doing it. And of course, like, in the moment, it sort of felt good, but then I fainted in class one time. And that really, really sucked.
So I feel like he would switch sides if it meant doing it naturally. Like, he's obviously natural, he's natural.
That's what I'm saying.
Obviously not.
I would switch sides if it meant that I could do it in a healthy way. And I mean, obviously, like I expressed, that I'm working on that. And I'm not saying that what you did was wrong. I really applaud the fact that you're saying to people like, hey, this was what my journey was, this is what it took, but I really don't advise that.
Okay, so here's the thing, man. Like, excellence and comfort cannot coexist. If you want to be an anomaly and you want to be the trendsetter, you want to be the top guy, you got to be able to be comfortable being uncomfortable. As far as like weight loss, because you said I'm just saying things.
Damn, bro, I needed that. In order to be that guy, you gotta be comfortable with being uncomfortable. Hey, I need all y'all. Hey, if you listening, take that in, gang, because that's gonna go a long way.
To get a viral clip, how would you deal with the obesity problem?
Like I said, pouring life into people. How am I dealing with it? I'm sharing what it's taking.
Explain what pouring life is. Like, what would that actually look like?
As someone who creates content online, I share what it is that I do in the gym. I share my routine. I talk about, like, hey, today was a shit day, but guess what? I pushed past that and I just benched 405. That's more than I weigh. When I want to hang out with friends, if I know that my schedule does not allot me that time, but I know that I have this time during the gym, I'll tell my friends, like, hey, pull up with me.
So you're inspiring others?
Yes.
Okay. Well, what if I told you at the camp everyone's exercising together and they're inspiring each other?
But
Same thing.
You approached it at such a negative way. Like, you approached it from a place of shame, and like, most of us have blatantly told you that shame didn't really work. Shame is what led me to an eating disorder. Shame is what led me to unsustainable weight loss.
Whose fault
when
is that,
what
though?
we're looking for is stability.
Whose fault is that you decided to go an unsustainable route with dieting? Whose fault
So if I was given a timeline that I needed to meet, and I'm trying to figure out, without also having the tools to do so the proper way, and I'm just grasping at straws on how I do it, yeah, it's not sustainable.
Yeah, so whose fault is it that they chose an unsustainable route to lose weight? That's your fault.
It's
See, the
an
problem is that you're a
amalgamation.
professional victim. I don't know if you've caught on to this, but you're a professional victim. You constantly blame others for your inadequacies and why you're fat. The reason why you're fat.
I haven't blamed not one person for where I am.
Yeah, because you're always like, oh, it's tough and all this other stuff. The reality is this, man.
Wait,
you eat too much.
I'm
you don't
trying to
exercise
figure out
enough.
where these misconceptions about me are.
Again, you can say whatever you want to say.
I do want to press.
I called you out on it, and I said,
I want to press pause.
This is how fat people think. Everyone has an excuse for why they're fat.
And I think that it's really sad.
And they can't take accountability for why they're fat.
Really sad.
We gotta pause. Let's bring in our disagreeers.
Yo!
Arguing so much, I forgot the prompt. What was the prompt again?
It was I don't want to be on the other side.
Oh, okay.
No, of course I would. I'm a curious person. I have been in much more traditional, like aesthetically pleasing shape in my past, but I've never gotten to like your guys' standards. And of course, I'm curious about anyone's life, like what it's like to walk through their shoes. So I don't see why I wouldn't be.
Yeah, I absolutely chose to, if I could, I'd switch. So when I was my lightest weight, which was 273, I wasn't anywhere near you guys, but I had muscles. I felt really good about myself. And now that I've fallen back, I literally like almost hate life because I got somewhere, got really close, and it was out of reach. And now I'm falling back and I gotta fight again. So if I could, I'd absolutely would switch.
What makes it hard to, like, I don't understand, like, you were 273 feeling great. How did you get back? Like, I'm curious. Curious.
No, absolutely.
How does that happen?
So when I started my weight loss journey, I was very focused, like I can't take any outside help. Like I gotta do this on my own. I did all the research myself. So my problem was when I would hit plateaus, it hit hard because I'm like, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. Why not cutting weight? So eventually I hit enough plateaus to where like my mentality was just breaking down.
I'm just gonna say it, the elephant in the room. Every fat person would want to be in shape. The problem is that they're not willing to do what's required to get in shape, hence why they are fat.
But it's abundantly clear what you think. Like we've got it.
Kudos to you.
Hey man, that's gonna about wrap up this video, man. Dog, that is crazy. Like I'm glad we was able to end off on that note because my guy said, bro, you were at the best shape of your life. You felt like 273, you had muscles, you felt like that was it. Why did you just let yourself go? And my man said, bro, it's a mentality thing. And you gotta have that mental, bro, because if you let that mental defeat you, if you getting physically broken down because you ain't seeing results on an everyday basis, when you get broke down like that, bro, it's hard to come back from it. Because everybody mental, it ain't that great. Everybody mental ain't up there. When it start getting beat down, hey, you start losing it. You start giving up, you start giving in. And y'all can't do that, man. But hey man, it's your boy Only One AJ gang. And if you made it this far in the video, like I said, you family, I appreciate you, man, for showing me love, for making it this far. Hey man, keep showing the kids some love, gang. Smash that like button. Smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel, gang. Not only that, hit that noti bell. Be notified when I drop these bangers, man. It's your boy Only One AJ. And I'm out.